everyone, this is Akin, and today I want to show you how to apply for the Yonsei and Keio University's dual degree program. Let me first introduce this program. Actually, to apply for this dual degree program, you have to be a student in Yonsei University's Graduate School of International Studies or Graduate School of Area Studies, or you have to be a student in Fudan University or Keio University. Now I'm a student in Yonsei University's Graduate School of International Studies, so I will show you how to apply for this Keio's dual degree program from Yonsei University's Graduate School of International Studies. I will use the abbreviation Gsis in my following explanation. Okay, so what's this dual degree program? You can see that Keio University is a very famous, the oldest and most highly rated private university in Japan. Its history back to the formation of a school for Dutch studies in 1858. So the university program only allow us to exchange to the Graduate School of Media and Governance in Keio University. So this university is located in the Japan's Sonnan Fujisawa campus. I suggest you to search for the location of this campus. It's quite located in the outskirts of Tokyo. I think it's a little inconvenient, but actually because I have not been in Japan yet, so I don't know whether it's really that inconvenient or that outskirt. I suggest you to search more about the location. And let's talk about the program. As a if you are a Yonsei University student, you actually to apply for this program, you have to be good at English or good at Japanese. Because there are two categories. One is English-based programs. Another is Japanese-based programs, which means that if you are good at English, you can choose human security and communication, or environmental design and governance, cyber informatics, system biology. These four programs are actually programs in Keio's university is like it's like their subject. Yeah, you can take it as your subject you will study in. And if you are good at Japanese, you can choose global governance and regional strategy, policy making and social innovation. The PS program is now what I'm studying, and cognition, sense making and biophysical skills, and X design. Yeah, these four programs are Japanese based, so you have to submit your Japanese language skill proficiency test certificate. I suggest you to have, if you take, I don't know whether you know the standard Japanese skill test, N4, N3, N2, and N1. I suggest you to have advanced level of N2 or N1. And actually, I'm not good at Japanese at all, but I find a Japanese tutor who can speak very good English in PS program. So even I'm not good at Japanese, but I can find an English advisor, so I can enter into the Japanese-based programs using English to finish the program. I don't suggest you to do that. I don't advise you to do that, because my situation is special. I advise you to do the normal, to fit in the normal, how to say that, the standards or the criteria of the program. And let's look at the admission criteria. Admission criteria, I mean this criteria of the Gsis. Students registered in the first or second semester of the Gsis, the Graduate School of International Studies in Yonsei, and students with a valid Japanese language certificate for Japanese-based programs, students who are recommended by the program chair, students who are physically healthy, students who have not received any disciplinary action, students who have no problem obtaining a Japanese visa, students who meet all other conditions specified in the due degree agreement. How to find the due degree agreement? You can search for the website of Yonsei University Graduate School of International Studies, and then go to the home's official notes, and you can search a due degree program. Okay, I will do you for it right now. Search the you can see that application for Yonsei and Keio due degree program, and you can see that the guidelines for Keio University due degree program. Okay, because there are 2 admissions, 1 year in Keio University, so the application period also can divide it into 2 periods. One is the spring semester. You should apply it in March or April. Another admission period is fall semester. You should apply for it in September or October. Okay. You can see more illustrate guideline for this program. I have no time to explain it so detailed. So I suggest you to read it by yourself. Yeah. So let's back to the another guideline. Yeah. Admission schedule every April or in October, and available date is every semester, but you have to be a first or second semester student. And the third is the required documents, an application form, study plan, official transcript from your undergraduate and graduate school, 4 copies of passport size photo, Japanese or English language proficiency, how good your English or Japanese should be. As I said before, your Japanese should be in advanced level like N2 or N1, or you should pass the test exam of Yonsei University. You can search for the Yonsei University's Japanese language test for exchange students. I suggest you to search for it, or ask the International Affairs Office. How good your English should be. Actually, I took an IELTS exam, and I got 7. So I assume maybe 6.5 or 7 would be sufficient for applying for this 2-degree program, or the other language test certificate equivalent to the scores of 6.5 in IELTS. Okay, application process, you have to pass 3 processes. The first is nomination process among Yonsei University candidates. There are 2 interviews in this process. The first one is Yonsei-Gsis interview. You have to talk about your study plan in front of our Gsis professors, and then after the recommendation of Yonsei's Gsis, then Gsis will recommend you to the general graduate school office. Then the general graduate school office will examine you and other candidates among Yonsei University candidates. And so the second interview is in the pool of the whole graduate school in Yonsei University. So it's a more competitive interview. So after you stand out in the second interview among the whole graduate schools in Yonsei University, then you have passed the nomination process among Yonsei University candidates. And the second process is candidates who passed the first screening submit the documents to Keio University. In this process, that if you pass the first nomination among the Yonsei University, then this deal has been done. Actually, you should be confident that you would be admitted by Keio University. You don't need to worry much as long as you have submitted all the necessary documents to Keio University. And the third process is final nomination process of Keio University. You don't need to worry too much, and actually the the admission date for Keio University, they will inform you in January or July. Yeah. And let's look at the tuition, scholarship, and length of visit. You don't need to pay tuition at Keio University. You only need to pay the tuition at Yonsei University. But if you want to continue your study at Keio University after 4th semester, you should pay at Keio University. And their scholarship provided for us. Keio University provides 700,000 amount of living cost support. It's yen, not won. Yeah. And the length of visit is 1 semester or up to 2 semesters. But if you want to stay more, of course, it's okay, but you have to pay at Keio's full tuition fee. That's not economical, right? So the students in Yonsei always visit for 1 semester or 2 semesters. Okay, that's the whole introduction for this Yonsei and Keio's dual degree program. And now let's look at how to apply for it. Yeah. You can search for the official notice in Yonsei Gsis official website. And after you can see this page that it lists out the required documents and nominating process and important notice of this dual degree program. And required documents differ. Actually, I think the most important one is. Oh, wait a minute. You have to submit your study plan, your research plan. I don't know why they don't. Sorry. I think it will be, yeah. Let's look at the guide. This is more detailed one, so you should look at this guideline. Keio University graduate of Media and Governance Master Program. Yeah, look at this one and the criteria, qualification. Yeah, okay. Let's look at the important steps before making an application. You should find a thesis advisor at Keio University first. So, the teaching style of Keio University and Yonsei University are very different. In Yonsei University, especially if you are in Gsis, you don't need to write a thesis for graduation, right? So you don't need to find a thesis advisor if you don't want to write a thesis. But in Keio, you should definitely write a thesis for your graduation. So you have to find a thesis advisor before you enter into Keio University. So you have to contact your potential thesis advisor before you make an application for this dual degree program at Keio. So you can see the contact information by these two links. Yeah. And application documents. Let's look at the application form. I think it's simple, but the tricky thing is that you have to write a lot of detailed things since your elementary school to your university. It's quite detailed, but not that difficult. I think the most difficult one is your research plan. It's also related to what kind of thesis advisor you will find. I suggest that first look at the thesis advisor you want to study from, and then look at the research field of your thesis advisor. My thesis advisor's interest is business and information system administration. So I write a thesis. I write a research plan about the business strategy. Yeah. So I advise you to look at the academic interest of your thesis advisor, then narrow down the scope to write a research plan. Okay, and you have to fit into the format of Keio University's research plan. There will be a fixed format. You can search. Wait a minute. Yeah. The format is not limited to ones on the website, but there's one format provided for you in this website. I advise you to look at this. And the third document is a letter of acceptance to act to a research supervisor. It's not that difficult, just agree. And 2 recommendation letters. Yonsei University's professors are very supportive. You don't need to worry too much about getting the recommendation letters, but I suggest that you should find professors who have taught you classes and who know you well, and certificate for graduation of undergraduate program and academic transcript, degree certificate of enrollment of Yonsei University, other supporting documents, copy of a document providing citizenship or Japanese language proficiency survey form. The other documents are not that difficult to prepare. So that's the part of how to apply for this program. So the most important one is to write a research plan. And the most important step before you write a research plan is to find a thesis advisor in advance at Keio University. To get the admission of Keio University, you also have to get the admission agreement of your thesis advisor. So it's very important to find a thesis advisor. That's the most important one. Remember it. And so now I want to talk about my personal study experience at Keio University. I think it's quite worth. Because I found a very good, very excellent thesis advisor. His name is Gsis. I will show you his. Let's look at. I will search it directly. On Google. Gsis Koku. This one. This is my thesis advisor, and he's very supportive, he's very nice, and always encouraged you to focus on your own study, and he only gives suggestions for your research, but never blame you or force you to change your academic interest. He's very supportive, very nice, very kind-hearted. Yeah. I only know this advisor well. Oh, yeah. And my actually you have to enter into a Kenkyu-kai. It's like a seminar, master seminar of your Gsis advisor. You have to talk about your research plan with your classmates every week. It's not that challenging, but interesting. You can see many of different topics around your research interest, and I think it quite worth. Yeah, you can learn much from the Kenkyu-kai, the research seminar. Yeah, and so finally, I want to provide some tips. Like, if you a student in Yonsei Gsis, the program I suggest you to apply for is global governance and regional strategy, because actually if you apply for other programs, it's a little difficult to get the admission, because other program need some professional background. But our students in Yonsei Gsis, their academic interests were mainly centered in global governance or human security and communications. Yeah, these two programs, JR and HC, are suitable for our students in Yonsei Gsis. You can also apply for PS, but PS thesis advisor, they are Japanese-speaking advisors, so I'm afraid it's a little difficult to find the professors with strong English language skills to provide you research advices in English. Yeah. And if you want to apply for other programs, it's better to have Japanese language skills, because the professors are all Japanese. You have to communicate with them, right? Yeah. So if you just want admission, it's better to first apply for the GR and HC program. And after admission, if you are not that satisfied with your program, you can change it. Yeah, you can change it after you have discussions with your thesis advisor and the professors in other programs. You want to change your program into. That's all. And if you have any questions, you can message me. I'm happy to help. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.